welcome to day 4 of the 5-day journey to wellness. So congratulations for getting this far. We are almost through. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling fitter. But if you're feeling a little tired, just take it easy. Do listen to your body. We've got lots of gentle stretches today. Now, we don't really need any equipment for this class, but there is just one exercise that you might find a strap useful for. So if you want to pause the video and go and get one, you can do that. Otherwise, like I said, you don't really need it. So I'll put it aside for now. Let's start off as we do normally with a straight spine, but this time we're going to start off on our knees. So with a nice long back, just have your hands resting on your thighs. Close your eyes here and take a few deep breaths. Just feeling the air moving in and out through the nose. Nice deep breaths, filling the lungs with oxygen. And then drop your chin to your chest, open your eyes, and then come up onto your knees. Take your legs just slightly apart. We're going to do some hip circles. So taking them around, and then as you come down, dip down, hips close to the heels, bring yourself up. So hips push forwards and around. Nice big circles. Let's do one more this way. And then reverse. So pushing the hips forward and dip down to your heels. And one more time. Come up and then reach over to the side. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling in a lovely side stretch. And let's take it over to the other side. Reaching long. And then both arms reach up. And then take the arms to the side. Bring one leg out and then reach down that leg. So you stretch down, reaching up with your right arm. This is called the gate pose. I think it's a bit like a latch of a gate. And let's switch over to the other side. So right leg goes out, reach down it and reach up with your left arm. Breathe and enjoy the stretch. And release it. Now push the hips forward, let your shoulders squeeze together, head drops back. And then round yourself forward, as if you're giving yourself a big hug. And let's do that again. Coming up, pushing the hips forward, squeeze the shoulders, little back bend. And then dropping the hips. Give yourself a nice hug, rounding the spine. Then come to standing, up to close to the front of the mat, having your feet and ankles together, hands into heart center. Take a big breath now, reach up and overhead. Exhale, flat back, lengthening out, pressing the hands up towards the ceiling. Inhale here and exhale, let yourself round down, just hang down, weight a little bit forwards. You can hold onto your elbows if you like. Let yourself gently rock side to side, just feeling the back and the back of the legs stretching and lengthening out. And then bend your knees, bring your hands to the floor, then walk yourself back into a plank pose. Hold it here, come to your knees and then lower your chin, chest and your head to the floor and round into a gentle cobra. Breathing into it, shoulders are back and down. Look behind you, one way towards the feet and around the other way. Back up to the center and then tucking your toes under, press the hips up towards the ceiling, walk your feet a little closer towards your hands and press the heels towards the mat. You might like to bend one knee and the other, just gently pressing them down towards the mat, warming up the legs. And then come up on tiptoes and then press both heels down. Again, come to tiptoe and press back into the pose. And then take your left leg up towards the ceiling for three-legged dog, stretching it long, hold, and lower into downward facing dog. Shifting the weight onto that leg, take the right leg up to the ceiling. The three-legged dog on the other side. And back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet to your hands now and roll yourself slowly all the way up to standing. Reach up overhead, palms touch, and exhale down and into Namaste. Now let's reach out and up again, long lengthening. You might like to take it into a back bend if that feels comfortable. Come down again, flat back, hold it here a moment, and then let yourself round all the way down. Now bring your hands onto your legs or ankles or the floor if you can do that with your legs straight, so you can be here. Stretching out, lengthening the back, and then bend your knees until your hands are flat and step yourself back one leg at a time, again into that plank pose. Hold it here, bring the knees down if you want to, or else come down in one straight line all the way to the mat, bringing down the legs, press up into a lovely gentle cobra, really rounding every vertebra of the spine here, and then tuck the toes under, press back to downward facing dog and walk your feet in a little closer towards your hands. Press into the pose. Remember, just take breaks anytime you want to. This is your class, it's your body, so listen to it. Nice deep breaths here. And then we're going to come forward. You can either take little steps, at one big step, or else bend your knees a bit out to the sides like a frog. Look where you're going to go, and jump up to your hands. Straighten the legs and look up, so your hands can be here or here. And then exhale, forward fold. From here, now come up with a nice long spine. Reach the hands up to touch overhead, lengthen. Maybe take it into a little bit of back bend if that feels right. And again, back into Namaste. Now bring your legs just slightly apart, hip width apart, and bend down into chair pose. The most uncomfortable chair in the world. So you want to have your hips way back, make sure your knees are behind your toes, legs are just parallel. Bring your arms up now, pull them up, they're also parallel with each other. Sink down and the gaze is up towards the ceiling. And then straighten up, inhale, exhale, diving down. Bring your hands down, grab hold of the back of your legs or your ankles and look up just for a moment. And then as you exhale, bring your chest towards the legs, let your head completely relax down. So you're lengthening down, just gently stretching out all the way up the back of the legs here. And your back naturally stretches out. It's great for the neck as well. And breathe. And then press into your legs, looking up or on the floor if you can get there with the knees straight. And then bend your legs, hands are flat on the floor, walk yourself back again into plank and hold it here. Again, check that plank. It's not up like this, but you're all in a straight line. Knees down if you want to, otherwise elbows close to your body. Lower yourself very slowly onto the mat and again press up into that cobra, arching the spine, and then tuck your toes under, press back to downward facing dog, walk the feet in a little bit closer towards you. Now we're going to take a big step forward with the left foot. So remember the tips, sway your hips a little bit, take the leg a little to the side if you want to. So big step up between your hands, or else move it up a little bit with your hand. Bring that back heel down. Now have your hips facing the front, so they're square on with the mat, and come up into warrior one pose. Back leg is strong, front leg is deeply bent, and from the belly button to the fingertips you're stretching. So you're not just hanging out here, but you feel the stretch all the way down the rib cage here. And then bring your hands either side of the front foot. Come on your back toe, so you're in a lunge and stretch forward, pressing back with the heel, reaching forward with the chest, and then step yourself back into a nice straight plank. Knees down if you want to. Lower yourself slowly to the mat. Legs come straight, press up into that cobra pose. Hold it here a moment, enjoying that feeling, and then tucking the toes under, press back again into downward facing dog and walk your feet a little closer so that you can really press back into this pose. Take a breath here. And then we're going to step forward with the right foot. So look where you're going. Remember, sway the hip if you want a little bit. Big step up between the hands. Back foot comes flat. And then have the hips facing the front of the mat. Back leg strong. Reach up overhead. Lengthen. Pull up. Sink into the legs as if you're splitting the body in two here. Looking up between the fingertips for that B-word balance. And the back leg is strong, pressing down the outer side of the foot into the mat. Let's inhale here, and then exhale. Come down into the lunge. Come on your back toes and stretch forwards here. Nice lengthening out from the back heel all the way up to your chest. And then step back into a nice straight plank. Hold it a moment, knees down if you like, and lower yourself to the mat. Feet come flat, press up, cobra pose. Stay here a moment, really working on that back flexibility. And then tuck your toes under, press back to downward facing dog, and again walk the feet in just a little closer. Or the hands can come a little bit back, so you can press into this downward facing dog. And breathe. And then walk yourself up to your hands and bending the knees. Very slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing, rolling the shoulders up, back and down, and the head lifts. Bringing the hands into Namaste. Let's reach out again and up overhead, getting long. Now keep all that length in the spine as you come down to a flat back. Arms stretch out as far as they can either side, and then let yourself round over. Bring your hands flat on the floor. Step back into the plank pose and bring your left knee to the ground and the right arm up to the ceiling for side plank. Pressing the mat away and reaching up with the top hand. Here you have the option of taking up the other leg, and if you even want to take it further than that, you can take the top leg up. So you have three variations here: with knee on the floor, one leg stacked on the other, or else lift the top leg and hold the balance here. And then ease back gently around with control into plank, knees down to the ground if you want, or else lower in a straight line, working on your strength all the way to the mat, and press up into cobra, and then take the legs up and bring your arms out to the sides, lift them up as high as they'll go, and then take your arms out in front like Superman flying back to aeroplane, and then clasp them behind your back and see how high you can lift your legs up. Make it a really good one. Well done. Hands to the ground and take yourself back into a well-deserved child's pose and relax here. A nice deep breath and let it go. And come back up and round the spine into a cat curl. And just press into any areas of the back that might feel a little bit tight. Come back into plank pose, and this time take your right knee down. Side plank on the other side, so left hand up to the ceiling, lifting up through the waist. Strong arms. And here again you have the option of bringing both legs straight, and if you want to, you can take that top leg up towards the ceiling as a third option. Holding it, and then come down with control, look down, come back into your plank pose, knees down if you want, and lower yourself to the mat. Have your legs slightly apart now. Reach back, see if you can grab hold of your feet or your ankles. If you can't, just have your hands underneath your shoulders and then press your feet up and lift the chest as high as you can. So if you can hold your feet, pull up and bring yourself up into this bow pose. Holding it. You can rock back and forth a few times if you like. And then gently release and press back into child's pose. Hands reach out in front, let your head rest down. Take a breath, relax into it. Then walk yourself around to one side, taking the hips the other way for a lovely side stretch. Walk yourself around the other way. Hips lean the opposite way. And enjoy that lovely stretch. And bring it back to the center. Hands reach out and your head relaxes down. And breathe. Come forward now, tuck your toes under, press up to downward facing dog, walking the feet in a little bit so you can press back into the pose. Take a breath here, and then walk your feet to your hands and roll yourself slowly again, all the way up to standing. Well done. Right, we're going to go into warrior 1, warrior 2, and then warrior 3. So step back with your right foot first, nice wide stance, back foot turned in slightly and the front foot facing the front of the mat. Now bring the hips around and face the front of the mat as much as possible. Bend the front knee down. Now you want to make sure that your knee isn't over your toes. If it is, take the stands a bit wider. Don't not come down as far. So you can really sink into it. Try and bring the hips around to face the front of the mat as if they were the headlights on a car. Back leg is strong and reach your arms up overhead. So this is warrior 1 pose. Strong arms reaching from the belly button to the top of the fingers and sinking into that front leg. And then we're going to go to warrior 2. So we open our arms and you see how the hip, instead of facing the left foot here, they're going to face sideways this way. So the arms reach out. Now there's a tendency for this knee to then flop in. So you have to really use your leg strength to press it out. So you can really sink down into that front leg. Strong back leg and arms really reach out long side to side. So this is warrior 2 pose. Now we're going to take it into warrior 3, which is a balance. So you shift your weight onto the front leg and then take the back leg up. Come to a flat back as much as possible and reach your arms out in the front of you. And then from here, bend the leg you're standing on, step back on your back toes. Now don't bring the heel down flat. And reach up and back. Now this is the crescent pose. So the difference between this and warrior 1 is that the back heel is lifted, but that back leg is still straight and strong. Bring your hands down now to prayer, and then hook the elbow on the outside of your left knee, other elbow up towards the ceiling. Prayer twist. Now if it's too much, bring that back knee down. You can stay here or else have that back leg up like this. And then look down at the foot on the floor, come into lunge and bring that back knee down, and then lean yourself back, walk the hands back, bringing the toes up towards the ceiling, enjoying the stretch up the back of this leg. And then come forward again, stretching into it and back. And one more time, stretching forward, stretch forward the chest as well, and take it back. And then step your feet together. So come on the back toes, so you got a little bit of a spring in your legs, roll all the way up to standing. Well done. And we'll do that again, warrior 1, 2, 3, crescent and prayer twist on the other side. So you want to take a big step back now with your left foot, having the back toes in slightly. Bring the hips around to face the front leg as much as they'll go. They might not go all the way, and that's fine. Bend down the front knee, arms reach up. And it's not just the arms, it's the whole body stretching. Feel the stretch in the rib cage and the whole torso. Sink into that front leg, and that back leg is strong and straight on the mat. Warrior 1. And now I'm afraid I'm going to turn my back on you for warrior two. So the arms reach out to the sides. You can take your stance a little wider if you want for this. So you can really sink down into it. The hips face the sides, arms reach out, and the gaze is out over that front fingertip. Now for warrior three, shift your weights onto this right leg and then bring your arms out in front of you and find that balance. Back leg lifted up nice and high. And then bend the leg you're standing on, come onto the back toes, don't bring the foot down flat. Reach up, look up, lean back a little bit. Crescent pose. Reaching long with the body, up with the arms. And then bring your hands down to prayer. Hook your left elbow in the outside of the right knee and press into that twist. Here you can bring that back knee down if you like, or else keep that back leg straight. Breathing into it, and then hands are come either side of the front foot. Lower that knee down if it wasn't already, and stretch forward into a runner's stretch, and then take it back. Toes come up towards the ceiling and pull back with the hip so you can feel a lovely stretch from the heel up to the hip. Come again forward, take it back. And again, stretch forwards and lean back into it. Then come forward, tuck the back toes under, and we're going to press back into downward facing dog. So get a nice firm grip on the floor with your hands and step yourself back. Adjust the feet hip width apart and press into the pose and breathe here. Well done. Walk your feet to your hands and again roll yourself slowly up to standing. You want to maybe grab the strap with you if you have one. We're going to use it for the balance pose. If you don't have a strap, you can manage without it. Bring your weight now onto your right leg and bring the left knee up and hug it into the chest. And then if you want to take it further, you can use the strap, bring it around your foot, hold the strap with your left hand, your right hand is on your waist, and bring the leg out. You can do this by holding onto the back of the leg without a strap, or you can hold onto your big toe and stretch your leg out this way if that works for you. And then take the leg to the side. Now if you don't want to bring it straight, you can be holding a knee and just take it to the side this way. So whichever way works for you, hold it and then bring the leg back to the center. Now let go of your strap, let go of your leg, keep that leg as high as you can. Let's hold it for 3 and 2 and 1. Release, well done, shake it out. Now bring your weight onto your left leg and bring the right knee up and hug it in to start. Now remember, there are various options. You can take this knee out to the side. You don't need to be taking the leg out straight if you don't want to. Now if you want to straighten the leg, you can use the strap if you want, hook it around the foot, and you want your arm on the inside of that right leg, other hand on your waist. Stand up nice and straight and take that leg up. If you don't have a strap, you can hold onto the leg, or you can grab hold of your big toe with 2 fingers. Again, stand nice and tall first and then send the leg out and hold it here. And take the leg to the side or the knee to the side. Hold it, stretching nice and long. Take it back to the center. And now try and keep that leg as high as you can, as straight as you can. Let go of any strap, let go of the toe. Hold it up for 3, 2, and 1, and release. Well done. Give yourself a shake out. Whew. Right, come up again, close to the front of the mat, hands into prayer, reach out and up overhead in the big circle, take it back to a back bend if you like, and then bring yourself down, like diving into a beautiful lake. Hands come down to your legs, look up, straight back. or the fingers can be on the floor. Bend your knees, hands to the floor. Walk yourself back, not too far, and come down onto your knees. We're going to go into the camel pose from here. Now, you can bring your hands to your waist, legs are hip width apart, push your hips forward, lengthen the back, squeezing the shoulder blades, drop back. That might be enough for you. If you want to take it further, tuck your toes under. You can reach back one hand at a time to the heels. Again, pushing the hips forward, squeeze the shoulder blades, let your head drop back. And if you want to take it even further, you can bring your feet flat, because now you've got further to get down to. Perhaps you can reach the heels, perhaps you can bring your hands flat onto the feet. Again, push the hips forward, let your head drop back, breathe. And when you're ready to come up one hand at a time, come onto hands and knees and round the spine into a cat curl, just pressing into any areas that feel tight. This is a counter pose. We bent backwards, now we're bending the spine forwards. We're going to do a great hip stretch now. If you bring your left knee forward and slide the right leg back. Now this might be enough for you. If you can though, you're going to grab this foot and bring it around at an angle, and then bring the hips back so that they are square with the mat. So you don't want this hip down on the floor. Stretch yourself forwards and then walk your hands down one at a time. Again, reach forwards and then bring your head to rest on your hands. Get comfortable here, and you should feel a stretch in the hip. If it bothers your knee, then don't bring this foot around so much. It might be enough for you to have that foot in line with the rest of the leg. And then press yourself up. Have your left hand in the center for balance. Bend the leg behind you. See if you can reach around and grab the foot. Now, another option is, if you have the strap, you can catch the foot in the strap and pull that in towards you. If you can, grab the foot, bring that in. And gently release. We're going to go to the other side. So take yourself into a plank and then lower the right leg down. Slide your left leg back and see if you can bring this foot around at an angle. You might find one side is different to the other, especially if you've got certain sports injuries, any scar tissue. It can affect the flexibility on one side. So take it to where you feel a good stretch in this hip. Stretch yourself forward with the chest and then come down one hand at a time, and then ease yourself into it. Relax your head down and relax into the pose. The hip is a big, strong muscle that supports the body. It can get very tight, so it's great to spend some time and stretch it out. So ease yourself up from this. Again, if you want to use a strap, you can bend the leg behind, grab hold of the foot in the strap and bring the foot in towards you, or perhaps you can grab the foot or just skip this part. So bringing the heel in towards you gently and then release. And we're going to come to sitting. So bring that back leg around. Take your left leg over the top of the right. Sit up tall and bring your right hand or elbow across and your left hand behind you. So sitting up with a nice straight spine. You don't want to be leaning back into this. Look forward to start. Inhale. And as you exhale, look back and wring out the spine, looking behind you, pressing against this knee. You can use your other hand on the mat behind you as well. And look forward and gently release. And we'll swap legs. So take the right leg over the left, sitting up tall. The other hand comes across, or the elbow, or you might like to do it this way if you prefer. Your right hand behind, sit up tall and press into the twist. So whichever way you're doing it, with your hand, your elbow this way or this way, you're pushing against this knee to really get into that twist. So looking back and then look forwards and release yourself. Now we're going to work our way slowly down onto the mat. So bring your arms out in front of you, tuck the tailbone under so that the spine is in a bit of a cat curl here. Arms in front of you, lower yourself very slowly down to the mat, working on those abdominal muscles until you're all the way down, flat on the back. Now bend your knees a little closer towards you. Take your left leg over the top of the thigh and gently press the knee out to the side. If you want to, you can also reach up around the right thigh and lie back down. And if you want to also, you could take the left hand and gently press this knee out to the side to increase the stretch. Breathe. And release, and we'll do the other side. So the right leg comes over the left thigh. Gently press the knee out to the side. That's the first stage. Second stage, if you want to, reach around the left thigh and pull that gently in towards you. And if you want to take it into a little bit more stretch, you can also use your right hand to press the right knee out. And release that. Hug both knees into the chest and then send the feet up towards the ceiling for inverted lake pose. So really push up as if you're trying to make footprints on your ceiling. The feet are flexed. And then point your toes. Keep your left leg up towards the ceiling. Take the right leg and hover it just above the floor. And then switch. So we're scissoring our legs. Let's go back and forth a few times slowly. So if you can, don't touch the floor, but just hover the leg just above it. Go back and forth a couple more times. And then bend your knees, hug them into the chest and rock yourself very gently side to side. Now bring your feet to the floor, hips width apart. Take your arms out to the sides and let your knees just flop over to the right and relax into this lovely, gentle side stretch. And then take the knees up and let them flop gently over to the other side. Relax into it. Feel an easing out of the lower back. Relax. And then bringing the legs back to the center, hug the knees again into the chest and trace circles round and round one way with your knees and round the other way. And then stretch the legs out along the floor one by one. Bring your arms a comfortable distance from your sides, adjust your back so you're very comfortable and close your eyes here. Let's take 3 breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So inhale, exhale, twice more. Inhale, exhale, and one more time. Inhale, and let it go. And let your breathing return to your nostrils. Just observe the breath flowing in and out and relax every muscle consciously, starting from your head, down through your shoulders and your arms and hands. Relax your upper back and lower back, your legs and your feet. So your whole body is just melting down into the floor. Letting go. And now with your eyes still closed, very, very slowly bend your knees. And then very slowly hug them into your chest. Eyes are still closed. Rock yourself side to side and and all the way over to one side. Now open your eyes very gently and ease yourself up to sitting. And come to sitting cross-legged or other position with a nice straight spine. Now bring your hands in front of you with your palms touching, and then open the fingers wide this way and open them apart, all except for your little fingers and your thumb. Now close your eyes and imagine in the middle of your hand was the most beautiful white lotus flower. Imagine feeling the petals soft in your hands. And imagine that this lotus was giving off the most incredibly wonderful scent. And you can breathe it in and feel that scent filling your nostrils and filling your brain and flowing through the body. It's like an energizing, glowing scent. The lotus flower is regarded in many cultures as a symbol of purity, of enlightenment and personal growth. It represents our ability to come from a place of suffering into the light, much like a lotus flower whose roots start in the muddy earth and rise up through murky waters, pure and bright, to bloom in the light of the sun. So imagine that this beautiful flower in your hand was glowing with a pure, white, perfect light. And you feel this light entering into your head and filling the brain, and feel this energizing light flow through the whole body until your whole body is glowing. And now take your hands very slowly down by your sides onto your knees, and then imagine that the flower was growing and spreading until it was right underneath you, and you're sitting right in the middle of this lotus flower. So it's immense and glowing and beautiful. You can still smell the wonderful smell and still feel the glowing light through your whole body. And then slowly that lotus flower fades away, but you're still left with that wonderful energizing glow within. And then drop your chin to your chest and slowly open your eyes. Now reach your arms overhead with a big inhale, and exhale, take your hands down, and let's take one more big breath in, reaching overhead, and hands come down to the heart center. Namaste everybody. Thank you so much, and you've done so well. We're on the end of day 4, one more day to go. I hope you're going to feel fantastic. I'm really looking forward to this last day, and then also, of course, there'll be lots more yoga afterwards to keep you busy, to keep you fit, and keep you going for the rest of the year and onwards. So don't forget, let me know in the comments how you found it. I do want to hear from you, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.